Bombers started in sensational fashion and never let the inaccurate ruse into the match. Peter Landy has the highlights.
With the wind behind them, it was all Essendon in the first quarter. Ian McMullen leading the play cleverly from close in, getting first goal. And then Gary O'Donnell showing a good turn of speed out of defence, notching another only moments later.
Kicks on the left foot.
When Michael Long bagged one more, North was looking at a spot of bother, trailing by 3 goals. But Wayne Schwass lifted them with a magnificent mark. The Prime Minister looked more worried than Wayne Schimmelbusch as Buick threaded one more through off the ground to round out a superb quarter for Essendon. Harris found the middle for North at the start of the second, but it counted for little. Dimpers became frayed for a moment, and then Martin tried to outstrength his opponents, but when Salmon snapped his third, the Bombers led by 45 points at the break.
What about that?
Michael Long came out charged up in the third to run through McRae, and it again fired up his teammates. Philandia brought up his third within minutes, and the game was as good as over. Anthony Danaher limped off with an injured knee, but still the Bombers came forward. And when Simon Madden goaled off the ground, they'd won running away by a mammoth 74 points. Peter Landy, 7, Nightly News.
For the second...
From a slump which has produced 4 losses in 5 games. And the Kangaroos moving the other way. Now on Bernie Quinlan.
Start of the game at Windy Hill. Essendon to the left with a 3 or 4 goal advantage. You would think it's going to be a real bog here. Buick with the first kick out of the centre. A little too far for Philandia. Pressure though on North Melbourne. Philandia gets it across almost to McMullen. Again the pressure there on Allison. 2 Essendon players fight over it. McMullen's pretty good from here and he kicks the first goal. The Bombers a goal through McMullen. North Melbourne yet to score.
Well, a critical fumble there coming from Allison. We see here, he looked like he was in good position there. And of course, the oval ball doesn't make it easy. The 2 Essendon players almost fighting each other for that one, Philandia and McMullen. But as Bruce called, very good around goals, McMullen. An excellent snap, and just the start Essendon would have wanted.
North Melbourne, notorious poor performers in the first quarter, so very, very vital they get away to a good start. There's Darren Buick again. That one kicked straight up in the air. Donald McDonald's in the centre mud patch. That's Peter German getting it to half forward. The mark was taken down there by Salmon. Now he goes in to grab it again, Paul Salmon. It was good play onto Johnston. Now on to Kickett. Derek Kickett has the ball smothered. Izzard centre of the ground, taken away by Wayne Schwass. They seem to be running through that mud patch reasonably well. To the full forward line he goes. Here's a chance for Clarkson. Swings onto the right foot, hooks it back in front of goal and puts it through for a behind.
A couple of fumbles early in the match, Pete. They're probably a little bit nervous, the players, realising that this is really crunch time for Essendon. They've lost 4 out of their last 5 games. And really, this is a real must game for them here at Windy Hill.
Yes, Chris Danaher made the mistake and then nearly flattened his own man Salmon. Anthony Danaher to the centre square, magnificent kick. Watson was the target. Cransberg trying to force his way through. Kick it. He has a lot of dash and great skill. To Madden on a long lead. Now Allison. The footy a bit easier to handle now once it's been into the mud. It'll stick a lot better. And the kick's a good one. You can see it holding up in the wind to Crocker. And I guess North Melbourne will play a fair bit of percentage football, possession football in this first quarter into the breeze. Any goal will be a bonus. Strong mark by McDonald. It was interesting that...
It looks like Cransberg's lined up on him at centre-half back.
50 metres.
A 50-metre penalty being applied. Terry Danaher lining up in the back pocket on Harris. Darren Harris is lined up alongside Johnny Longmire to take just some of the pressure off John Longmire, because he's been the only North Melbourne forward in the recent weeks capable of kicking a goal.
Well, this is a good test because McDonald's a thumping kick. He's about 40 metres out, and can he make the distance into the breeze? Drop punt, he's kicked it brilliantly, but it holds up in the end. It's going to be hard to score from there from 30 or 40 metres out, and out of bounds. Well, it's a good kick, really.
Yeah, well, the wind just dragged it across goal there. I thought Longmire even had a chance to take a mark there in that pocket.
Salmon versus Gallagher. Gallagher takes front position. All over the top was McDonald. Liam Pickering is there for North Melbourne. Players diving on top of it in front of the North goal as the Essendon defence tries to get it out of the pack. Look at the pack of players.
Blow the whistle, surely. I think he's lost the whistle, Pete.
Well, there must have been 15 or 16 players in that pack, and Derek Kickett's down there. He's playing in the centre.
They really let it go that long before they call for a ball up.
John Russo throws the ball up. Gallagher tries to grab it out of the ruck. Players in after it again. And the umpires pluck the free kick out of that pack. And which way will it go? Certainly going Essendon's way. This is David Johnston.
Always goes to the defender's way, doesn't he, in those situations?
Yeah, every time, Bernie. To the half-back line. Number of flyers. This Wayne Schwass kicks it straight to Cransburg. Clarkson off the ground was good play. Bounces off Gallagher. Oh, some strong play by McDonald. Tap further afield for North. Here's Larkin. He's brought the ground, then taps it away. Kick by Wallace. Wallace kicks straight to Fairley. Fairley straightens up from 60 metres, brings it in front of goal. Good play. Oh, great play by Longmire. Strict.
Yes, it was good play, Pete, because he used his body very well there. He was in the front position, the right position, because the ball is going to drop short in these very windy conditions. As you could see, he just held Danaher off with that left arm.
Johnny Longmire from 35 metres into the breeze. It floats away. Did it sneak in for a goal? No. Well, not a good kick because he was only 35 metres out.
Well,
there's Wayne Schimmelbusch and John Dugdale.
Maybe you should have learned from McDonald's kick, because his kick certainly drifted across the goal front to the right of goal, and John Longmire didn't allow enough kicking on that occasion.
Danaher to Somerville, Fairley at the back. McDonald caught high by O'Donnell, and free kick paid. Pretty promising start by North Melbourne, early days, but gee, they've had a lot of the footy.
Yes, fully agree, Bruce. This is good sign for North.
McDonald, well, he gets some distance into the breeze, to the pocket. Longmire almost played that as a defender against Danaher, thumping it towards the boundary line, keeping it in North Melbourne's attacking zone.
I think they're good enough to win this, actually, Bruce. I'm tipping North Melbourne.
Well, they've started well into the breeze, even though McMullen scored in the first minute. Here's Rock, left foot, to the pocket. Again, Longmire and Danaher. It's going to be the key duel of the day. Play on called. The kick by Crocker. Salmon has to sit and wait, and then gives the handball off to Johnston, who goes to Spawn. He's got a bit of space.
Kieran Spawn, the South Australian, to the centre of the ground. Staritsky knocks it down to Ramiro. That was good team play. On to Larkin, now Schwass, now Ramiro. Ramiro from 55, brings it to Longmire. Out he comes. Oh, he has it punched away. Good play by Anthony Danaher. Here's Crocker. Oh, he's dispossessed. That was good play as a hand pass comes to Izzard from Anthony Danaher. Out to the half-back line. Another one of the Danahers takes it away. This is Chris.
With a drop punt to centre-half forward. Madden goes very early. Staritsky leads in the race for it. Long handball is good. This is Scholl. Drop punt into the breeze. A very good kick. Rock runs it out. But North Melbourne are positive in their approach into the breeze. Anthony Rock, who's playing his 14th game this year. Young Hughes looking on, and getting ready to come on is David Flood. So a move already by Kevin Sheedy. Salmon, Rock, repeating that Thompson not playing for Essendon. Steele caught. Gallagher's kick round the body to centre-half forward. A couple of North Melbourne players got tangled up there, including Pickering. Schwass's handball. North Melbourne keeping possession. Ramiro from the pocket, tried to centre it. O'Donnell couldn't quite handle it. Off the ground by North Melbourne, didn't go far. The little handball didn't go far by Essendon. And the Kangaroos' pressure's very good.
Oh, North, very aggressive, Bernie.
They're tying it up well on the forward line, aren't they, Peter? They're just working feverishly to keep the ball into that forward line.
Well, there's Peter Somerville.
He's off the ground already.
Yes, well, he doesn't muck around, Kevin Sheedy. Here's Darren Steele playing his 100th game. Kicks to the pocket. Anthony Danaher. Well done, Longmire. Punched it, then grabbed it. Oh, kicked for goal by Longmire. Point. Terrific play by the big full forward. But most importantly, they've had 3 shots to 1, and Essendon is kicking with a strong breeze.
Gee, Longmire did that well. I don't know if he knew he had a player inside him either. He might have used the handball there, but North, as Peter's just said, 3 shots to 1. Anthony Danaher to Spawn. Here's Cransburg, who's back today. Spawn's give is okay, but put the pressure on the next give was bad to Johnston. McDonald started very positively. The tackle was good by Johnson. German with some power and strength. Scholl, the handball good to Clarkson. Ramiro, 50 metres out, drop punt. 1 out situation for the moment. Now they come in together when the wind gets hold of it. Crocker with a chance. Good defensive play. Kick it, looks for a free kick. Not given, but Essendon able to get it to a vacant space. An important ball to be won. The tackle was good by Danaher to set it for Izzard.
Alan Izard, the short one. The lead is on, and the mark has been taken by Dean Wallace. He's got a running player in Gary O'Donnell. O'Donnell a bounce. He can have a shot from 50. 2 bounces, O'Donnell straightens up, kicks on the left foot. Great goal to the Bombers. That's Gary O'Donnell's first, Essendon second, 2 goals straight. Lead North Melbourne 3 behind.
Yes, and that's a danger, of course. North Melbourne with so many players forward of centre that if Essendon do get the ball quickly out of the back line, as we saw on this occasion, O'Donnell just had so much space in which to run and just no pressure at all having that shot at goal. He had that well within the 50 metres area.
O'Donnell's goal puts Essendon 12-3. The Chris Danaher tackle, setting it up on German to give it to Izard. Salmon wins it. Buick, no free kick. There's Bog in the centre square. Good take by the big fellow, Gallagher, to half forward. Nice body work by both Johnston and Rock. Here's Izard again. Schwash brings him down with a strong tackle. Watson, clever. Nice take by Salmon at centre wing. Centres it to Madden. Martin goes with him. Philandia, clever. Can kick the goal. Round his body. Bouncing. Through.
Good pocket with 2 big men, Salmon and Madden, who rested full forward. Matty Larkin to the half-forward line. McDonald. Now pushing the back-off kick has been paid to McDonald here as he went for that mark. Now Essendon better watch out. It could be 50.
He's playing all right, McDonald, at centre half forward.
Well, he's gone wide with a hand pass to Darren Steele. The short pass is on. Oh, that was a good pass. He found Gallagher. Had plenty of the play, North Melbourne. Unfortunately for them, Essendon have been down there 3 times for 3 goals. Oh, Longmire had... How was that for an impossible task? He had Paul Salmon and Anthony Danaher to compete against there in the goal square, and the ball forced through for a behind. So North on 4 behinds, Essendon on 3 goals.
Danaher. Centre wing, Kransberg. Oh, Schwash, I should say, magnificent mark.
Wayne Schwass, how's that, Bruce? He took a great mark a couple of weeks ago. Was a contender for the mark of the day, and that is a sensational mark.
A real fingertipper, wasn't it? Schwash centering kick. Marked by Crocker. Just too far out, you'd fancy, into the breeze. Drop punt. It does hold up a bit. McDonald's down there. Kransberg thumps it away. Chris Danaher. Left-hand handball okay to Johnston. To centre half forward.
Fairley. Oh, good mark. Very underrated player, Ian Fairley.
Well done behind play there by Rock also. Just got that little push as that player, Essendon player, kicked the ball, put him off balance.
Ian Fairley to the half-forward line. A pack of players. The North players took front position. Now here's David Johnston again. Straight up in the air. Good mark. Scholl.
Oh,
now,
be careful.
50?
Careful,
no.
Tim.
Craig Scholl played for Victoria against Queensland on Tuesday. Good mark, Gallagher. Stuck the backside out and the hands out in front. Very clever mark. Michael Gallagher to the half-forward line. Out comes Longmire. Has it fisted away. Rock goes in against Kickett. Kickett. Oh, brilliant play. Chris Danaher. The short one is on. He finds Watson centre of the ground.
Gee, Kickett was good then. Watson gets round Scholl, but then goes to ground and handballs to a vacant space, hoping in the end. Steele breaks one tackle to Scholl, who's playing on Watson. Just a wobbly one. Kickett had to sit and wait. Rock at the back. Again, Kickett. Back into the glue pot. No free to Buick. Yes, it is. It'll come back. Gets up limping a bit, Buick. He was very good on Tuesday night for Western Australia. It's kicked to Kransberg, who's another ex-WA. Buick running for him. Kransberg very short. Gee, not much value in that with O'Donnell. Great play, though, by North Melbourne to get back. Kick by Schwash to centre wing, Spawn, and he runs it out of play.
Good pat on the back there for Donald McDonald. He saw the danger there, sensed it. He came down from centre half forward. That short pass on from Kransberg, looking for O'Donnell, and Donald McDonald got in there and just got his fingertips to it.
Centre wing, Spawn taps it onto Izard, onto Buick. Buick steady, then kick to the half-forward line. North Melbourne race it out of defence, and that was Staritsky. Now a chance for the Bombers. Derek Kickett Went for the long torpedo punt. He's got long and open goal. Bang, that's another one of the Bombers, and that's their fourth. Essendon, 4 goals straight. Lead North Melbourne, 4 behind.
Yes, I'm not sure about these North Melbourne tactics. They've virtually been using Gallagher as an extra man on the forward line, whereas the ruckmen usually hang around across the half-back line and have an extra man in defence. In these circumstances, with Essendon kicking with his strong breeze, I think Gallagher may be more advantage to the side if he was hanging around as a loose man in defence.
Back in the centre, Buick. Ball just stuck in the mud. Handball by Crocker. Essendon now with a good lead, despite the fact North Melbourne's had as much of the football, if not more. Essendon has been very positive with this attack.
I think they've had more of the football, North Melbourne.
Few more possessions, we're told, probably 3 or 4, and they trail 24-4. Salmon, Fairley, doesn't go very far. Spawn tries to get a kick away. Larkin's little handball okay to Crocker. Centre wing, and Johnson, or Flood takes the mark. He's come off the interchange. Had Kransberg. Takes his time in the end and drop punts the ball to centre half forward. Wallace in the front spot. Fairley at the back. The Steele handball was good. To Scholl, to Clarkson. Onto his left foot to centre, to half forward.
The ball at half forward now for North. They badly need a goal into the breeze. Here's Michael Long, caught, gets in a hand pass for Landia, now under Flood. This is Flood going wide, looking for Spawn. Will it sit for him? It does. And Kieran Spawn kicks to the half forward line and puts it out of bounds on the full. I think we're in for a great game here today at Windy Hill. Essendon 4 goals straight lead. North Melbourne 4 behind. Now here's David Flood on centre wing. Must have been touched off the boot, was it? Because he did play on. Here's Chris Danaher doing well. Well done by Danaher. From 40 metres he kicks and puts it across the face and through for 1 behind.
Essendon's first miss, Pete. Chris Danaher has been very busy in this first quarter. He's had 3 kicks and 2 hand passes and a couple of very good tackles. 3 tackles, in fact, in the first quarter. Simon Madden now having a run on the ball, doing the ruck work, with Paul Salmon resting at full forward.
Allison's kick. Staritsky able to keep it in against McMullen. Schwash, who's already taken a spectacular mark here today. A handball with a fair bit on it. Scholl. Kransberg with him. Back to Schwash. He'll probably use McDonald, he does. 60 metres out, now 50. Draws Flood to him, goes over the top. Pickering, kick to the goal square. Again, Longmire outnumbered. Madden back, didn't take the mark. Longmire, handball to Pickering. Left foot round his body. Sits and waits. Terry Danaher. Derek Kickett. Well played, though, by Crocker. Chance for North for their first into the breeze. Crocker's handball is wasted in the end. Terry Danaher forces it to the boundary line.
Oh, they had a chance then, didn't they?
Well, it was brilliant play by Crocker to actually close Essendon down, because they're looking very dangerous there with that run out of the back line. And unfortunately, Crocker couldn't finish it off.
Madden versus Gallagher. Gallagher got that down. Buick is there, and Steele. Steele into an open goal, kicks.
5-10 at Windy Hill. Really back to square one, you'd fancy. Scores about level, considering Essendon kicking with a 4 or 5 goal breeze. Good mark for Landia, who started very well with a couple of crisp handballs. That one to O'Donnell. Salmon, oh, strong.
Well, it's good to see that, Bruce. A good, positive, strong lead from Paul Salmon. This is what the Essendon supporters have really been waiting for. And Salmon, of course, leading the goal-kicking competition in 1984 when he hurt his knee and had that knee reconstruction. He was a tremendous player in that year who would have won the goal-kicking.
Yes, he's been in the leading goal kicker in 84 and then from 87 to 90, but just 18 goals this season. He was the superstar of the competition, wasn't he, in early 84?
Yeah, he sure was.
45 metres out, maybe a bit closer than that, but where he kicks it from, and he's kicked it beautifully for a goal.
First quarter and kicked 7-1-43 to North Melbourne, 1 goal, 6-12. Now let's take a look at some highlights of the remaining 3 quarters at Windy Hill.
Staritsky sells a dummy. Have a look at that one. The mark to Salmon. So put them 6 goals in front. Straight through. He was off. Gets his kick away. Fairley versus Cransburg. Now Wallace. TD, Terry Danaher, left foot. Another one for the Bombers. What about the shooty tactics here, Bernie? Not one player forward of centre for Essendon.
That's fantastic tactics, I think, because they've really closed down North Melbourne's scoring options.
Realising that there's less than 2 minutes to go, and these players we're looking at now are the most forward on the forward line. Now it's completely open. Philandy will chip it to Salmon. Will it sit for him? Round his body. What about that? To Flood, to Izzard, who's away. A second bounce. He'll go straight to Buick over the top. Buick also loves to run. Izzard backs up. Now, can he kick a goal from here? No, decides to give it to Philandia, who drop punts it through. So Terry Danaher, who's been useful today, has come in and off the interchange bench. Two half forward. Cransburg tapped it down to Spawn. Gets a hurry kick. Watson cleverly. Kick it. Lovely kick by Kickett right to the goal square for Salmon. And another one. He's just slaughtering Martin here today. Well, only 18 goals this season before today. So this is his big bag. From 10 metres out, kicks his fifth.
The play on the umpire's call. Cransburg plenty of time to kick it to Buick. Spoiled by Chandler. Taken by Buick. He sprints away. Races into the goal, kicks it to Michael Long, and this will be another goal coming up to the Bombers. Gee, I don't think he should be on that angle, but he'll run out and hook it in anyway. He does, and it's a goal. And a bad mistake by Pickering. Watson goes short, looking for Cransburg. Cransburg might be able to control this as he races after it, taps it to Long. Long trying to get onto the left foot, bananas it to the goal square. Kickett was the flyer. Now it's Simon Madden off the ground. I think it's a goal. Yes.
There's German. He's had 21 kicks, which is a bit of a surprise. Storitsky, Ramiro, Storitsky.
Beautiful teamwork this. Izzard. 30 seconds of play left. Izzard goes with a short kick. And it comes back to Alan Izzard. Izzard over the top gives it to Johnston.
Like a boomerang, wasn't it? Johnston's kick good to Madden. And there goes the siren. So will Madden kick his fourth today? And will it be Essendon's 19th? Drop punt. And he does. Finishes it off in style.
The Bombers back in business after a slump, and what great kicking on a windy day. 19-9, but look at North Melbourne. 5 goals, 19 for the entire afternoon. Salmon kicked